Kia ora, Bulavanaka. Welcome everyone to another InsurTechNZ panel discussion. I think we're going to have a real blast here for the next 30 minutes. We've got a wonderful panel and to really bring that to life, I'd love you all to jump into the chat room, post your most difficult questions that we can put to the panelists. We really do have a great speaker lineup. And I'll introduce them in course, but would love to hear your questions for them. And so the topic again today is how insurers are investing in technology, including APIs, so that data can be shared and used to create value. We've got three wonderful presenters: Mike Gardner, CIO for Ando; Rochelle Naylor, Head of Technology for NZ Brokers; and Dale Smith, CEO Javelin.
So I'm Mike Gardner, CEO for Ando, as Blair said. Ando Insurance, we're no longer a startup. We were a startup 5 or 6 years ago. That has gone very quickly, but very quickly grown and continue to grow, which is great. I think now about 250 people, so it's exciting experience. We're focused on the broker partner market. That's our distribution channel. So we don't currently do any direct insurance. And so that brings its own complications and challenges and opportunities. So I thought I'd just share a bit about what we're doing, particularly in the API space. It's an exciting area for us and definitely an area we're investing in heavily right now. So I thought it'd just be good to start off a little bit around what guides us from a business strategy perspective. And I've just taken here what we use, I guess, as measures and lenses that we look to whenever we're implementing any of our technology, and particularly the API and data space. And we call it our REST kind of model. We measure this with our broking partners and our non-broking partners. Let me just start off top left. From a speed perspective, our broking partners, I guess, want a reaction really quickly, whether that's in the claims or underwriting space. They want whatever it is dealt really quickly. I guess that's fairly common in the broker market. For us, transparency, clearly where we have commercial risks that I guess can't get transacted as quickly as some of the personal lines risks, knowing where that's at from a broker perspective so that they can service their customers is really key, and particularly in the claims area as well. Ease, obviously efficiency and how easy it is for the broker to interact with us and get that response is critical. And I guess as we move into more and more the digital world and the digital interactions that inevitably brokers are using with us, that relationship is still key. We don't want to lose essentially the core of our business, which is relationships with our brokers and partners. So how do we maintain that while we digitize is pretty important too. Caroline, can you just go to the next slide? A simple diagram here, but fundamental. Yes, our brokers and partners are our distribution mechanism, and a lot of the claims interactions are held with the customer and the broker. And we want to really foster that, I guess, excellent customer experience with the broker and support that. But we shouldn't lose sight of the fact that Ando does interact with customers at some parts in that process. So any solutions around the API and data space particularly need to consider that interaction. And we want a customer to have a good experience with Ando as well. I guess as guidelines to our technology strategy and the API space, we've been spending a lot of time recently, I guess, revisiting and redesigning and exposing new APIs. One of the first focus areas is around making them easy to adopt. We've tried to remove some of the jargon and some of the insurance jargon around the APIs. I think we've been reasonably successful at that, but I think there's a fair way to go. We want to grow and broaden our distribution with our new APIs. So obviously we want to grow with our existing brokers and partners, but I think it enables us to look at new opportunities and the non-traditional distribution areas that we may be able to service. So that's exciting. We'll see where that takes us. And on the innovation side, I guess new APIs and more broadly APIs available via other data providers. So to get additional data for risk selection or additional data to assess fraud. There's a huge amount of data out there at the moment that we can bring into the process as well. So quickly on the challenges and opportunities. A few, probably three challenges I thought of that were worth speaking about. There's no standard API specification in New Zealand for transacting insurance and managing claims. I guess that's good and bad. It allows us at least to help pave the way for something that can be reused. And that's our intention, is to, I guess, allow others to use a standard that we think is, I guess, a progression from what's out there at the moment. But it is a challenge. It means no one's using a single standard, so we have to integrate, and brokers have to integrate with us individually and differently, and that's not ideal. I think another challenge for API and data sharing adoption is around, well, maybe in the broker space, there's still a lot of legacy systems. I mean, there is generally in insurance, but for us, we're relatively new, so we don't have that legacy baggage, but some of our partners, I guess, do, and so that's a bit harder for them. And one of the, I guess, the other challenges is a design challenge, and with the constant evolving space around additional data and opportunities to collect different data from our customers via the brokers, we just need to manage that change and the API contract really well. And dealing with multiple partners, that can become a bit tricky if you don't design your APIs particularly well. Just on the opportunity side, look, one major opportunity that I see, the proliferation of structured and unstructured data. There are huge opportunities to make the process more efficient, to have a better customer experience where we don't need to ask them as many questions, that we can, I guess, supplement the data that they give us. And ideally that's minimal, and then we supplement that with all of the data that's out there around risk and customer. I mean, if I think of some aspirations that I'd love to see, I'd love to see us just ask one question and be able to offer a price to the customer. So what's your address, or what's your rego number for a car, or what's the name of your business? There are opportunities to really enhance that. I'd like to take that even further. So yeah, I'm excited for us and the team to be able to fulfill that challenge.
For those of you not familiar with NZ Brokers, it's the largest independent insurance and risk management broking group in New Zealand. And NZ Brokers Management is the management company for this broker network. There's about 49 experienced broking businesses from all across New Zealand as part of that group. And as a team, we have a lot of experience on board to provide services to our brokers, from systems, exclusive policy wordings, training, support, advice, etc. And we negotiate with insurers on behalf of our members to ensure that collectively we get the best possible outcomes for our members and ultimately for the end customer as well. Next slide, please. So at NZ Brokers, we believe that integrating the insurance value chain plays a real critical role in the future of the broking world. We see that all clients are becoming increasingly demanding on where, when and how and what they want to buy in terms of insurance. These days, clients really expect brokers to be there 24/7 and interact with them any way they choose. And they compare brokers to every other interaction they have online, not just other brokers or insurers, and that presents its challenges. So as the clients demand a more specialised approach in terms of products and services, the brokers need to become more specialised in these products and services that are being offered. So the clients also expect instant decisions, but then they also expect us as brokers to know them as individuals And this is where we see the use of or smart use of data becomes really, really important to assist the brokers there. There's also the changing regulation scene. Brokers are having to do more, proving they understand their clients, and they also have to prove they're acting in the best interest of their client. And it means they can't just roll over renewals or place business with insurers they have the best relationship with. It means getting alternative quotes with recommendations, remarketing renewals more regularly, and you know, that's an extra burden on them when ultimately they probably know off the top of their head who's the best insurer to go with for that client anyway. It's only really just formalising what brokers do, but they need to now back that up with supporting evidence, and it results in even more paperwork. Brokers have to submit quote requests to insurers, and then insurers need to quote and respond. The brokers then need to request whole covers where relevant, and insurers need to confirm this. The brokers then need to invoice that and send the closings to the insurers. The insurers have to input that into their system and so on. So, you know, I think we can adapt to this wave of change, but we've got some pretty major constraints. You know, as an industry, we still lag behind others. We've still got really manual processes, and spending time administrating means less time for brokers for clients to really understand their needs and provide advice. And ultimately, advice is our point of difference as brokers from the direct market. Next slide, please. So the way we see it, if brokers are to remain relevant, we need to invest in technology that allows for the advanced analytics and for the automation of the processes, such as quoting and binding a business. Brokers need to use this technology to engage with and advise clients. They need to have platforms and integration with insurers, with the ultimate aim really being sharing that information with insurers, using a better collaboration to provide more individualized outcomes for their clients. We think we really need to focus on the technology and integration to provide the tools and system support that will then free the brokers up so they have time to get face-to-face, make phone calls with their clients, really build stronger relationships and build trust and confidence. It will enable a better understanding of their client and their needs, and therefore provide that tailored advice and insurance solutions that are more suited to what they require. So as a result, we really see that integration with insurance is a key component. Just provides the efficiency on both sides, takes out that you know, time-consuming legwork, streamlines the process, and provides a quick turnaround for the client. Connecting via APIs is the logical way to go, and for our end, without needing to rekey that back into our broker system, it provides a seamless workflow for our brokers, and it will enable the brokers to have that fast turnaround and full advice model for their clients. Also had the additive bonus of being better for the environment with less paper, and there's a lot of paper in the insurance industry. So we really think that putting clients' best interests front and centre really requires a concerted effort by both the providers and intermediaries alike. You know, on one side, the insurers can make a difference by designing client-centric and consumer-friendly solutions, but on the other side, the brokers need to continue to be the experts on the ground, tasked with connecting and all the available solutions with the client needs, identifying any vulnerabilities, and ensuring that their insurance needs are covered.
On Javelin, we're a software as a service vendor. We sell our SaaS to insurance intermediaries and insurance companies across Australia, New Zealand, and the Pacific. And I think one of the reasons why I'm so involved with Blair and in InsurTech is I believe that we've got a fantastic opportunity to really drive insurance technology over the next few years to put New Zealand at the forefront of the innovation opportunity. So great opportunity to present today. So thanks for your attention. So next slide. So just some, I guess I'm starting a slightly different. What are the challenges and opportunities? And these are opportunities and challenges that we see not only in New Zealand, but in broader markets. That there is a lot of legacy technology, and Mike picked up on that earlier, that there is in fact quite a lot of legacy technology, not just in the broker space, but also in insurance companies and underwriting agents as well. Certainly a challenge, you know, with, as you say, structured and unstructured data, which is something we come across every day. I think it's a real challenge that that there is a lack of industry collaboration. Certainly in our region of the world and other parts of the globe, there is a bit more collaboration happening, but certainly in our part of the world, New Zealand and Australia, the collaboration from a technology and standards perspective for insurance is almost zero. I think there's a real challenge when it comes to trust. Whose information and data is whose information and data. So I think there's as an industry, we've got to challenge that trust thinking and actually embrace the opportunity to share data as much as we possibly can. And I think one of the other key challenges that we see is that there is a concern regarding differentiation, insurance product differentiation specifically. So I think there's that is a challenge, but also a really good opportunity, I think, for people and early adopters of APIs. What are the opportunities for InsurTechNZ, InsurTechs and insurance professionals in New Zealand? I think certainly consistency is key. I think there's an opportunity to take a real consistent approach to standards with APIs. And as a result of that, there'd be enormous improvements and efficiencies. Rochelle picked up on the amount of paper. Unfortunately, that is the truth. But using APIs to connect directly, consume data from various external web sources, it will produce tremendous opportunities to improve efficiencies. There's certainly an opportunity to improve customer experiences and their journeys that they have when buying or interacting with insurance companies or brokers. There's a huge opportunity to improve their customer experience. And I think with APIs, there's probably not enough discussion around the claims side. I think on the claims side, there's a really large opportunity to provide better and more accurate, timely data back to the insurance value chain. And I think, which I'll pick up on the next slide, is New Zealand, I believe, is in a really unique position at the moment in terms of our opportunity to around APIs. Next slide, please. So what are some international lessons? So these are javelin lessons. They're not necessarily broader than that, but I think we definitely don't want to be like Australia. Australia has platforms like Sunrise and other aggregation platforms that are causing all sorts of issues because they're so entrenched in the industry. And I think through either good luck or good management, New Zealand has completely avoided platforms like that, which now provides us with a really good opportunity, I believe. So we don't want to be disjointed at all in our approach. And I think collaboration and a standardized approach is going to be key to that. And collaboration will drive innovation, whether it's innovation around claims, transacting insurance business, business efficiencies. Collaboration across the industry is going to be key. And customers there's no doubt about this, they're increasing their demand around immediate access to the information that they need in a timely and immediate fashion. And APIs are without doubt the way to achieve this. And there's no doubt about that. So just, I guess, the opportunity that New Zealand has, I think, because we've avoided platforms like Sunrise, we've got a great opportunity to make this opportunity pay from an insurance value chain perspective. And I think as industry technology professionals, we should take that opportunity and make it pay for New Zealand. Invest and contribute to a standardized approach around APIs, and it will absolutely pay dividends for New Zealand